There's lots of interesting, I think, dichotomies or debates that we have in the craps world that are fascinating to me. You've got, the pass line with odds people versus the place bet people. You've got the math wizards versus the luck people, and you've got the dice controllers versus the random rollers, and you've got, now I'm seeing this really interesting debate about trends, right? Trends, it's the wrong word to use. Clusters is a better word. You find that outcomes, whether it's the 9 being rolled a bunch of times or the pass line winning 5 times in a row, things happen in groups in this game. And while we can say that every roll is independent, no one roll begets what the next roll is going to be. There's no indicators really at all, but things do tend to happen in groups for some reason. So I like to explore how we can attack that when it happens. And what I'm going to do today is sort of introduce this idea, and it's built upon the strategy that we've shown before, which is that don't pass parlay, or the parlay pressure method of betting, where you're really attacking a winning streak with big time increased bets and parlays and kind of leveling up your bases. I want to see how that responds to a trend, right? Or to some cluster of outcomes. I want to really explore, is it possible in craps to sort of chase what's happening? Like you would do in Baccarat perhaps, or maybe in roulette, chasing red or black. Is it possible in the craps table to kind of catch a wave and ride the wave, and then be careful when you're in a losing trend and see how that works out? Can you actually switch? So with that said, we're going to try that today. Let's look at quote unquote trends or clusters and how we can catch on to them and maybe attack those positive result trains. We'll see if it works. I'm John. This is Pro Craps. Let's get after it. Let's talk about trending. This is, again, a breakdown from the rolls from the other day. So I want to do some more kind of crime scene investigation about the big mess that I had on Tuesday when I lost all the money, and look at some of the trends that I went back and looked at and say, what happened in here, right? And again, I don't expect that you can predict the trends. I'm never saying that you can predict them, but here's what happened a number of times during that day, right? One, we had 3-point winners back to back, like right out of the gate too. We had, in the end, 9 straight shooters not make a point. 9 straight. That's a huge trend. If you're on the don't and you're progressing, you're doing really well in that circumstance, right? We had in the roll repeaters, and that's gonna be a part of my talk today. In the roll repeaters, which means you set a point of 4, you roll a 5, you roll a 5 again, you roll a 3 or a 6, you roll a 6 again. Those in-roll repeaters happen 13 times. Now, 140 rolls, basically, only 13 times we had repeaters during one shooter's roll. So before a 7 out, there was a repeat. Not a lot, frankly. And when we say things like, oh, look, the 9's happening, okay? Let's get on the 9. Well, it doesn't happen all that often, but there is ways to catch that. So it was there, but it wasn't as much as I'd hope it would be. The field was interesting. We always talk about the field being a freaking nightmare. Field repeaters, we had 4 fields in a row, we had 3 fields in a row, and another 4 fields in a row. So there was 3 or 4 sets of repeaters that were worth writing down. There was a lot of 2s in there, okay? The no field, look at this. We had 5 rolls with no field, we had 11 rolls with no field, 5, 6, a 5. It's a lot of rolls clustered without the field, which is interesting. A lot of those were 7s because we had that one string where we had, I think it was 6 7s out of 8 rolls. So a big part of that 11 was that 7 streak that we had. And when we look at 7s in that last streak, the cluster of 7s, and it's not all the 7s, but the cluster at the end that I did here, we had a cluster at the end where there was 13 7s out of 32 rolls. Nearly 50% of the rolls were 7s for one part of that rollout, which, again, you can't predict it, but it's reality, right? Those clusters of, holy shit, what's going on? So for guys that go, okay, well, when I see 3 7s in a row, I'm gonna start hopping the reds. I know guys that do this. You think, God, they're crazy for doing that. But when you see stuff like this that actually does happen, if their system of play is, wait, if I see 3 reds, I'm hopping the reds for $5 for 5 rolls, right? That was what, I know one guy does this, right? He's gonna burn $15 5 times, right? He's gonna basically throw $100 at it and see what happens. That guy would have made a fortune with that strategy at that time. Now, it doesn't always happen, obviously, but the idea of trying to catch on to it, I get it, right? And because things do cluster like this, you can actually get in there and make a little bit of cash on it. So with that said, I want to go to the table and I want to actually roll this stuff out, and I want to explain to you a little more in detail two things. One is going to be the horseman. Sorry, Doris, I'm going to talk about the horseman a little bit today. And I'm also going to talk about trend catching. And I'm not going to talk about it the way Waylon did. Waylon did a whole PJ Strong strategy yesterday, which was interesting. And it kind of like jumped into what I was saying at the end of my show yesterday, which was, hey, I rolled a bunch of 9s. We should be on the 9. And PJ's like, well, you didn't take the 9. Well, no, I was trying to do something else. But you notice it. You say, oh, we're in a trend over here. Well, what happened was Waylon said, well, I'm doing a video on that. He did a video where he was like, hey, I'm seeing this and this. I'm going to move my bets around. And he caught the trend because he was willing to move his bets around, but yesterday I wasn't. Today I'm going to do a thing where we're going to look at some trending stuff, and my goal is going to be not so much to predict a trend, but to bet in such a way that we catch a trend, which is what I talk about all the time. When you catch a cluster, by the way that you bet, that's what I'm going after, right? I'm going to treat craps today like baccarat. Last week we talked about craps looking like roulette, which was a ridiculously stupid thing. Today I'm going to teach or play on craps like baccarat, craps like red and black. We're just going to basically use the pass and don't pass. We're going to follow the leader. We're going to follow points being made or missed and put our money down there on the don't pass that way, right? I'm going to use the other part of the horseman. So the pass line part, I'm going to actually bounce back and forth. I'm not going to play don't pass all the time. I'm going to go follow the trend of the table with that bet. The come bets are going to be used for the whole purpose of finding what's happening up in the box. Okay, come bets are great ways they're like heat-seeking missiles. They're finding out what's happening in the box. They're good ways to catch on what's coming. So if you get those in-roll repeaters that I was talking about over the other side, the come bets will catch those. The come bets kind of hunt those things down. And I think if you look at the horseman as two separate plays, the line play and the box play, and they are sometimes hedged. Right? Sometimes they do cancel each other out, which sucks. Sometimes you catch an awful run and you lose it all. But really, if you think about those two bets as two things, one is catching what's winning on the line and in the box, and also stacking your wins, progressing them forward on the line. You can actually catch the trend in two ways. Doesn't always work? No. Hell no. But we're going to go ahead and give it a shot anyway. I want to walk through it with you. So let's head back to the table. I'll start tracking the rolls as they go, but I want to do some explanations before I start rolling. So it might take me a hot minute to get to live rolls. But here's what I'm going to talk through. It's all about opportunity. So Daddy David over at Casino Quest talks about opportunity all the time, and he's a huge proponent of pressing. And I said this the other day too. Pressing your bets is the only way to help kind of overcome house edge. You can't overcome house edge, but if you same bet in here, you're for sure going to succumb to it, right? And I'll give you the example again. This is an important thing to kind of set the tone with. If you're going to be at 110, and you're going to take $35, and you're going to beat the 7, right? You're supposed to beat the 7 here 3 out of 4 times, right? So if you get your three wins, 1, 2, 3 wins, and then the 7 comes like it should, so 3 wins and then a 7, and you're out, and you're actually down $5. You have 105 that you won, 110 you started with. Welcome to the house edge. That's how the casinos make money on you. That's the whole trick to it, right? If you had pressed at any point in time in here, one of those bets, not collected but pressed, and then after your third hit you come down, now you're going to be ahead. That's the way that you can, quote unquote, overcome house edge. You're not going to beat house edge. You're not going to eliminate house edge. You can overcome the effects of it if you can press at least once in a run and time your exit. I believe very strongly that you can and should do better with more money on the table. Like, it takes money to make money. You can't be out there running scared all the time. And when something good is happening, you want more of it, right? That's the reason why we're all, overweight pieces of crap, right? Because the more cake tastes good, steak tastes good. We want more of it. I want more money when I'm in the middle of that, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'll do it in the field first. It's going to be dumb, but I want to give you the sense of opportunity that I'm talking about. Here's going to be, let's take 20, I'll take $21 chips because the size of the chip doesn't matter here. This is just a pure exercise in, well, maybe stupidity, but there's 20 chips. We're never going to have more than one of our chips at risk the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to give us opportunity to succeed. Now, we may catch one of those runs where it's 11 in a row that we get our ass kicked on. It'll happen. What we're going to try and do is this. When we're in the field, if it wins, you get paid and you parlay. If the parlay wins, you can collect and leave yourself there. If that wins, again, you parlay to 4. If it wins, you win 4. You stay at level 3 and you keep pulling money back. In a good trend, when you're getting 3, 4, 5 in a row, that pattern of betting will get you with more money out here and more money coming back. So if you can catch 3 in a row, 4 in a row, God forbid a 5 or a 6 in a row. I think Vince caught 9 in a row one night during one of our challenges. If you can catch that run and you're betting it progressively, you're going to be great. Now, if you lose anywhere in here, it goes away. You come back with 1 unit. Now, I've been doing this parlay press thing where I've stayed at level, where I've gotten to level 3 like I just did. My next bet would have been 3, and now I'm putting more of my bankroll at risk. If we did the thing where you progressed your win and then regressed on the loss back to 0, I think you're going to have 20 cracks at hitting 3, 4 in a row. If you can get 3, 4 in a row, fan-frickin-tastic, right? You're gonna make money. You have opportunity to win more in the same set of rolls as somebody else who's same betting and hoping for the best on those same rolls. How do you get more money out there? You use your winnings in a smart way, and if you can do that, you're going to be good. Now, I'll do it in the field because the field's fast, right? It's field is very trendy, very clustery. We can also do it here on the pass and don't pass. And there's a couple of ways to hit the pass and don't pass trend. I'll show you how that works here in a minute. Let's get this back to here. I'm going to roll it out. I'm just going to roll. I'll put my bankroll right here in the middle. These are 4 stacks of 5 units. All right. Let's. I'll put them here. 4 stacks of 5. Let's go in the field. We don't care about the puck. I'm just going to roll and look for field trends. All we're going to do is hunt down a field trend without using our brains. You don't got to be a craps master to do this. You're just going to basically press and collect, press and collect, press and collect, and build as you go, and that's going to be it. Okay, here we go. The dice are going to be out. I'll do this really quick. There's going to be a 6, 4, 10. So out of the gate, we have a 6, 4, 10. And actually, let me move these here. I'm going to put this bankroll next to us here because I want the dice to be here so you can see the dice. So there's our 6, 4, 10. First roll is in. That's going to pay. And again, we're going to stack it right up. I'll put my parlays kind of off to the side so you can see them. It's going to parlay that first win and hope for all you need is a repeater, right? And here we get the home run, right? 6, 6, 12 on my table. That pays 3 to 1. 1, 2, 3 to 1. So our parlay pays off. We can bring all this back. And now we go up to a new level, right? After our second win, we stay at level here. And look what we have. We have a already 20% win, right? We had, so you put the dollar we started with back. One, do I have these sized right? No, I'm missing one. I'm missing one in the middle. So there's my extra chip. So we already have 20% plus a unit, right? You caught it because you bet it aggressively, right? You bet that thing aggressively and bam, there it goes. Did I put the 12 in? I didn't. 6, 6, 12. But now we're out here at a higher level, right? We got a 10 and a 12, we had 2 fields in a row. We're out here with a new higher base, right? If we can keep in the field, we'd be great. We didn't. It's a 5-1-6. That's fine, right? We lose our bumped up bet. Okay, that sucks. Back out we go with 1 unit. We're going to go back down to 1 unit. No matter how high we get this damn thing, we're going back to 1 unit, right? Now, technically, you should be done here. You should be out because you hit your 20%. But let's run through it a few more times. There's aces. And again, on my table, aces pays double. I'm just going to parlay the base bet. I'm not going to parlay the whole damn thing. And actually, I'll put that back over here. So these are all, this is my starting bankroll is still clean. I got a 2-unit bet out there, and I got 6 units in profit. Let's just go ahead and hit this thing again. We did. We got a 9. That's awesome. So we hit a 9, 5, 4, 9. At level 2, that pays 2. and we're going to stack the whole thing up. I'm actually going to put them side by side so you can see what's going on there. 5, 4, 9, another field win for us. Let's hit this parlay and be out of here. There it is, yo 11. So that pays 2, that pays 2. Move to level 3, bring all this back, and now we're at a 40% win. Because we bet it aggressively and properly, right? This is how you trend bet. When things are going right, you can bump a little bit. When things go south, now we're at level 3. If it goes south, you'll see what I do here. I'll play it until this goes a little south for us. There's a 4, 2, 6. We lose our 3. We had bumped it up, which means we had hit 3 parlays, which is pretty cool. Or 2 parlays to get to that point. That goes away. You go out with 1 unit. You're not going to put more than 1 unit of your bankroll at risk at any one time. If you can build it up, opportunity, fantastic, right? If it loses at level 5, who cares? You're always only increasing bets with winnings. When it goes down, you start back over at 1. I think that was a adjustment I'm going to make to my strategy. Where I lost the 50K, I'm gonna regress it back down to base and restart each time instead of staying at that level. I think staying at the level is what hurt. It got too volatile there at the end for me. So that's a look at like a basic catching a trend in the field. There wasn't any science behind that, right? Let me put the 6 in there. Let's look at the numbers real quick. 4, 2, 6, 4, 2, 6. Okay, so we caught 1, 2 in a row, and then we caught, I think I missed one. I had a 2, 9, hold on, we had the 2, the 9, we had the 11, and then we had the 4, 2, 6. So we caught 2 in a row at the outset, and then we lost 1. Then we caught 3 in a row, and then we lost 1. So simple little trend winning in there, right? Trend betting in there, that escalates your profits by quite a bit if you can catch it, right? Again, not guaranteeing you can catch a trend. I didn't do anything smart. All I did was take the opportunity that presented itself. And what I always say, like you're trying to catch a moving boat or something, like you're trying to run next to a moving car and jump into it. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly the system, right? You don't know that we're going to get 3 in a row, but on the chance that we do, we're going to parlay. On the chance that we do, we're going to increase. On the chance we do, we're going to keep parlaying, right? And keep that thing moving and give ourselves opportunity with profit money to increase the bets and get here 40% win quicker than you would have if you were just same betting the field. That's the idea. So let's pull this money back. Okay, it's a simple example. I'm happy that the dice played well to show that it works in theory, but let's do it again now. And again, I'm going to go ahead and expand it a little bit, and let's work the horseman strategy. So the horseman, as you know, and I'm going to play it at a little bit different level than I normally do. Here in the rack, I've got $1,000 over here. So there's each of these holes. I'm sorry, these are incorrectly sized. I'm sorry. I did bad math. Each of these shooters is like this. I've got a $100 chip for the don't pass. I got 3 $25 bets for the come. And again, this could be here or here. So I've got 5 of those. I got 5 times 175, 6 1/4. And over here, I've got another $500. This is going to be used for odds and other things. This is going to be like my fluff money. All right. What I'm going to do is this. We're going to go ahead and use the line bet and I'm going to do it 2 different ways to suss out how the table's going. Now, this is a volatile bet because obviously 7 or 11, you lose down here. If I'm over here, we're going to lose on the 2 or 3 or 12. We're going to use this. We're going to move it between the lines, right? Based on not so much what I just won or lost on, because the come out rolls are going to be the kind of equalizer. I'm not going to move this to the pass line if I get a come out winner. Okay, I'm going to move between these lines based on the puck. So we start getting, the puck starts going. They make their point. We're going to here. If they miss their point, we're coming back over here again. We're going to basically treat this like a baccarat table. Player, banker, player, banker. I'm going to work on the result of the roller, not the individual bets down there. So we're going to basically follow the puck with this bet. I'm going to take the horseman in a different direction. We're going to ride both sides and see if we can treat this a little bit like baccarat or red and black and roulette. We're going to see, can this thing follow what happened and do the increasing of bets, right? Take the wins and stack them up and catch a couple in a row as the good result happens for us. If we can catch a couple, 2, 3 in a row, result-wise, we're gonna be in really good shape down here. That's the idea of this piece. Now, up in here, the come bets, I made mention of it earlier, the horseman has 2 designs to it, right? One, when you're on the don't, these bets are all about the 7. It's like, give me a 7 right now, give me a 7 right now, give me a 7 right now. We're gonna make money on all the time, right? When they're set, now you're looking at, okay, the dice are gonna tell you where they're gonna go, obviously. And like yesterday when I was rolling all those 5s and 9s, I'm like, man, we should be on the 5 and 9. Well, here you're on the number that the dice ought to roll again, right? If you're gonna catch inside repeaters and the dice put themselves into a trend, come bets are perfect to catch that trend. They're perfect to catch the cluster or the grouping of numbers that are gonna be repeaters. If a shooter is in a zone and they're hitting 8s and 9s all day long, your come bets are gonna catch them all day long. That's the idea. These things catch those numbers quickly so you can see what's happening. Then you can make a choice with these bets afterwards, what to do with them, go back in the come or place the number, either way. I like placing the number that got hit and seeing if we can make hay with it that way. But I think come bets are great at targeting what the shooter is rolling. And if they are in a pocket, the come bets will find the pocket. Okay, they're safe in here. It helps you make money while they're coming out. And then when they get set, they're gonna find the pocket of numbers. You don't have to be like Waylon and do math and think, oh shit, what's coming out? Like what did I just see? These bets will tell you what they see. If you don't wanna think about it, this is a simple way to let the dice make the decision and seek out what's being hit a second time. Hope that makes sense. So that's gonna be how we play it. I have extra money here on the side of my rack over on this right side. This is $500. I don't know if you can see the whole rack, but this $500 here I can use if I decide to. Outside of the money I have per shooter, if I want, I can take that and drop $100 on the 8 odds. So I'm gonna use this side hustle money here to grab odds or other things if I decide to, okay? That's the pattern. That's gonna be our play today is gonna be here. And what I'm gonna do to kick it off is I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna pull a Greg and I'm gonna chart the table. I'm gonna wait until one result happens because just like in Baccarat, I don't go to Baccarat and bet banker right away. I watch one result so I know where to put my money. Am I putting my money on the pass or on the don't pass? I don't know where to go yet. I have no idea. Let's let the shooter make or not make a point and then we'll see what we're gonna do. So it's gonna be a 44, hard 8. Oh, actually, let me clear this out because we're gonna start a new pocket here. Let's clear the rolls history. We'll get an 8 going as our first point. And now we're gonna go. Here we are. So our puck is gonna be on 8. Let's let our shooter declare right away, 4-3-7. So 4-3-7, so we know that the first shooter failed, so we're gonna follow what just happened. We're gonna put our black chip on what just happened, hope that we catch it. Now again, we're gonna be hugely risky, right? This is a big old bet on, hopefully we don't see another one of those things coming out. So I'll talk to you a little bit about how we can mitigate some of that. But for right now, let's play it straight up. We'll do a few shooters straight up and see what happens. It goes to a 4. So our first point actively for us is gonna be a 4, a 2-2 hard 4. And again, following what just happened with that bet, here's the come bet that's gonna make a decision for us and see if the shooter can find a pocket. If the shooter finds a pocket, that bet will be in the pocket. 5 and a 1, that's a 6, it goes to the 6, and out we come. Now, people will ask me all the time, dealers, where's your odds? Why aren't you playing odds? I'm not gonna play odds on these bets here until all 3 are set. When I'm playing the headless horseman, I don't put odds up until the third bet gets out here. When the third bet's out here, then I can make a choice. But while I'm getting them set, I want the 7, $125 win on a 7 here. I want that 7 to be strong while they're in process. Then I go odds. It costs me sometimes. I'll get the repeaters in here. It is what it is. It costs me money, I know, but over time, this system or way of playing it makes me more money. There's the 7. Had I done the mathematical thing and done this, we'd have been 100% hedged, right? We would have lost 125, we would have won 125, it would have been stupid. That's why I let them get set, because we're gonna win a quarter here, a black there, and we're going to lose this one up here. So we're in good shape, right? We have our 3 come bets still back in the rack, and I got a win down here. I'm going to stack the win. This is going to be that opportunity coming through. It's a 7 right there on the next roll. So now we're going to be stacking the win. We've seen 2 don't pass winners in a row. One of them we watched, one of them we were on. Now we're looking for another one. Now, stacking the whole thing up, yeah, maybe you do it like this. Maybe you take 4 quarters and stack it up by a little bit. That's fine. I don't care if you do that and put some profit back in your rack. That's an okay way to attack it. As long as you got more out here than you did last time, you're good. Why don't we just go half? We'll go with a half press, okay? Half parlay on that don't pass. Instead of putting the whole hundo out there, we got something back in the rack. Let's come out. Let's beat the nasty. We don't. We get a 4 or a 6-1-7, and we don't do well, right? That's the don't passes bane, right? You're going to have that. But we're still, I think, in the shooter can't make a point trend. We're still going to be on the don't. And what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to break my own horseman rules. I'm going to come out with another clean shooter just to keep demonstrating it. So back to the don't we go. Regress down to our base bet after a loss, but we're down here now, okay? And here, again, are we in a loss? I don't know. I still feel like I want to be here. And this is only me because we did get beat on the come out roll. We didn't get beat up in here. So I think I'm still betting 150 against the puck, not against the come out. So I'm going to keep strong on this bet as we're coming out. But I logged that 7 now. 6-1. Okay, let's go. Let's beat it. Let's beat the come out. Oh, we don't. Look at that. 6-5 yo. So here it is, right here. We're flipping the bid a little bit and getting a little bit screwed here. And it's a good time to talk about this, because if you're going to use the line as a way to sort of just play the puck, this is going to be your nightmare. On the don't pass, you might have 5 point losers in a row and also 5 come out losers in a row for you, and you're going to be nowhere in that situation. So here's a thing we can do. We can do it like this. You can play them both. And if you do the play them both thing, what happens is this. You're fine on the come out, except for the 12. The 12s don't come often enough to make it matter at all. You can bypass the come out, and then you can just use your odds to play where the puck is. And maybe that's the way to do this, just to kind of get through it. So we've had 2 come out losers in a row. I'm going to switch up a little bit and just do the do-we don't down here and just lay odds or take odds based on the puck trend. So again, we're still in a 2 shooters in a row 7-ing out puck trend. I'm going to bypass the come out. I'm going to bypass it by betting on both, basically. And we get to an 8. There's the 8. We're still here. We're still thinking that the don't pass is the way. I got my 3 come bets coming. I'm going to put 150 down there, or 125 rather, in odds. Okay, looking to win 100. Right? If I want to, I could go to 250, or I could go to, I guess, 175, I suppose, or 180 rather. And yeah, 180 would be enough. To kind of bump that bet up a little bit higher. Let's stay here, 125 to win 100 right now on this negative trend, 538. And our first come bet coming through. And there's a 628. So good. So the don't pass is getting murdered right now, which is fun. That'll go in here to the 8. Okay. You'll lose your odds. Those 2 are going to be a push. Right? This would lose, but that would pay. So they pay each other. No big deal. Puck is going to be off. We have a come bet on the 8, and we're coming out. And right now, the come out 7 is a tie down here. It's a loss up in here, but a come out 8 up in here. I like to do this, again, as an aggressive stance when I'm playing the horseman. I'll take the chances that I can get, and I'll put $50 up on that 8 for the come out roll only. So let me mark that up. There's your point being hit. It's an immediate repeater too, by the way. Let's see if we can get 3 8s in a row, can we? No. So we're on the 4. I'll take the $50 down. I don't need it yet. I'm going to still come out through here. We're going to change up though, right? We're going to go ahead and now, because the shooter made their last point, we flip sides. We're going to go to the pass line. Now we're going to take odds on the pass line. And let's take 50 in odds to win 100 on the 4. Okay, I'm always going to try and win a black chip with my odds. That's kind of the base here. So now I'm going to switch from don't pass horseman to pass line horseman. These come bets now don't have the same power. As they're coming through this time, when you're on the don't pass side, you're making money on the 7. Here, the 7 is your complete enemy, but you're thinking the opportunity is the shooter's going to be in some kind of a pocket. Let's go ahead and grab some wins while they're shooting well is the kind of the theory here. Let me put that 4 in for you. Let's roll through it. Aces. It's a loss in the come. Last come bet's coming through. 1 got set, 1 just got beat. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 2 horns in a row. That's a bummer. And we've got our bet on the 8 sitting here. So we have a pass line bet on the 4 and a come bet that went to the 8. 2 horn numbers in a row. There's no rhythm here, right? Do you put odds? Do you say, I'm going to be a math guy? I'm going to be a math guy and just drop odds on the 8 because I should, right? This is where you're reading the table going, I don't know. I saw 2 8s in a row. Now I've seen a bunch of shit. Is it worth my bankroll being at risk to do the smart money math thing? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think what I'm seeing here is no. I don't trust it right now. So let's let the dice do what they're going to do. There's a 4. That's fantastic. That's great. So what's going to happen? This loses, but it pays here. That's a wash. Behind the line, you get back 100 for 50. So we get back one of our hundreds comes back to the rack. And here we are. We're back over here, almost normal again. Our 8 is still working. Look at that. The 8 is still sitting there. Hasn't been hit since it got set. Okay. Again, I'm going to, for the come out, only do this. I realize that's a weird move that I don't play it during the roll, but I'm going to play it for the come out. I want a one roll advantage with the odds, and we'll take it, and then we'll probably pull those back. And there's the 8. This wins for me about half the time. Half the time I get my odds paid. Half the times I get my clock cleaned. But this time it worked out. Again, there it is. That's a pretty good little win right there. And what it does for me is it puts my come bets back in my rack that I can play with. And I've got the money in my rack also to go back here with my odds behind the 8. Okay, so I'm going to take $100 out of my odds stack, drop it behind the 8. Okay, we're going to look to win a $1.20 here on the point, and now we're going to come through. So again, we're still positive trend. No need to go the don't pass until we see a shooter miss their point. Let's do it. There's a 6-4-10, so we're going to be up in here on the 10. Here comes the next one. There's your 6-4-10, by the way. Let me mark that up. 5-4-9. There's the 9, 5 and a 4. That'll head up here, and our third comeback comes out. We are really exposed. When you're on the right side in the lakeside horseman, the horseman who's running by the lake looking all good, you're at risk big time. There's a 4. So now we've got 3 comebacks set. And again, I told you, this bet down here is all about the puck. The shooter's working with the puck and positive, negative. We're using only odds to make money based on the shooter. We're not getting any line action at all. We're getting only odds action. Here, the dice have determined what the quote-unquote cluster is likely to be. If the shooter's in any kind of rhythm, these are going to be repeating themselves as they go through. This is where you make your decisions to take or not take odds as you go. Tough call here, right? Because we're not seeing a lot of juice coming through. But we are in, a pretty long streak without seeing big red here. So this might be a time where you do a little bit of this, where you take $30 on the 9 and maybe you go light and just take something. Just get me $10 on the 4 and 10. Like, not go super heavy, right? Not put my entire side, my whole side hustle is basically gone because we got burned earlier. Not put the whole thing at risk. Let's just put it light a light touch out there, but let's see if we can get a cluster of inside numbers here, a cluster of box numbers rather, and how will the shooter do for us? There's a 4. That's great. Hard 4. 4-4 hard 4 again. The dice, you know, the negative of come betting is that you don't get to choose. It's got to hit twice, right? I hear you there, right? The 4 did roll twice here, but the dice told us that it was going to do that. That was the whole point. I can take these reds, place the 4, place the 5, and rack my greens, right? And allow the dice to kind of keep declaring themselves. And matter of fact, the 5 has no reason to be bet. I haven't seen a 5 all day. That makes no sense. I'm going to take this and add to the 10 with it. So my odds on the 10 go up a little bit with the 4 win, but the 4 has rolled. Are we in an outside cluster? We saw 2 4s and a 10? Maybe. Maybe. Let's take those reds and reinvest them smartly. There's a 6, 3 and a 3. It's a 6. We're not on it. And there was no reason to be on it other than aiming your rifle in the dark here, hoping something gets hit, versus the come bets telling you where to aim. That's the entire difference. There's the aces. There's a 9. So good. The 9 hits. Again, the dice are telling us what they want. 5, 4, 9. Didn't have to think about what to do here. It happens for you. The come bets are nice because it happens. They find the clusters for you. So there's going to be third or even up front 20. Or sorry, that should be 40 for 30 on the back, and we're going to rebuild from some of those losses that we had earlier, which is good. We needed some of that. So that's 2 of them have gotten hit. Our third one is still sitting here. That was the 9 is logged in. Okay, let's go. Let's get that 8, shall we? 3 and a 2. There's a 5. Doesn't help. Doesn't hurt. If you want, not a bad time to come back through and grab a third number. Maybe. I prefer to let these things kind of resolve and take the wins and reinvest if we can. Let's do that. Let's let them resolve and we'll reinvest in a second. There's our 9 again. 6, 3, 9. Wow, that's interesting, right? Could have, by the way, let's go back out there and show you something. The win that we had on the 9, the 25 flat and the 40 on the odds in the back, I didn't think of it. I probably should have. I should have placed it, right? I should have placed the reds back out. I was going to do it. I didn't, but I'm going to do it now. We'll call it a loss. We're going to get a 7 and we're going to lose this without getting paid on it, but that was the right move, was to take what happened and make it happen a second time. The dice declared a couple of 9s. 9's in the wheelhouse. Let's put the reds back out. I should have had the reds back out. I was talking, I wasn't thinking, but that's what you do when those things hit. There's a 6, 3, 9. Did I log it in? I did. Okay, let's go. There's a 3, 1, 4. 3, 1, 4. That's great. A 3 and a 1. That's a 4. I have $10 on it. That'll pay me $18. $18. We're going to press it by 1. I'm going to grab the hard 4 and the hard 10 with the others, and we're going to rack just $3. We're going to move into opportunity here, right? This has declared that it can be hit. Opportunity. Give me a hard 10, will you? Well, we'll take the 9. 5, 4, 9. That's good. Again, the 9 is running. The 9's running. It would have been a lot nicer, I think. There's $21 though for the 9. It would have been a lot nicer to have already been on the 9. That would have been ideal. Let's take 10 and make it look like a quarter and bring back some money. So that come bet to the 9 has turned into a $25 9, all based on profit. When I played last weekend with Ian, this is what I did all night. When I was rolling, I come betted, got these things up, got them set, and then started building from where they were set. Again, the dice declared for me where they wanted to be, and then I rolled it from there. I rolled my bets from that point forward, and that's how you do this. 5, 4, 9, that was marked in there, good. I'm getting better at the roll tracker, it seems. There's an aces, a 1, 2, 3. Does nothing for me. 2, 1, 3 does nothing. 6, 3, 9 again. Wow. Wow. That pays $35. We're going to take it to 30, 35 rather. Rack that quarter. Did I put it in? No. Oh, I did. There's the 8, baby. Love it. 4-4, hard 8, square pair. Like and subscribe. So we got paid on the 8 down there. It's going to pay us a nice 120 on the odds. And again, we're not getting any juice here on the flat. We're going to just get our odds paid. Coming out here like this. Again, we're using the do we don't down here to bypass the come out roll. We're going to say, we're really saying, I don't care what the point or what the come out roll gives us. We're going to give up some flat action so that we can follow the puck. And the puck right now is a happy puck. It's a very happy puck. Right now on the come out roll, my 10 is working, right? The flat bet's working, the odds. I'm going to make my odds work like I always do. And I'm going to call the hard 10 on. Okay, I'm going to work the odds on my 10 and the hard 10, get those things working, and hopefully we can bang a hard 10 out here as our next point. If not, we'll see where it goes. Let's get rolling. Back on the 8. Back on the 8. 4-4, 4-4, 8. We're right back here again. Look at that. You say, man, the 8's hot. Let's get on the 8. I'm going to get on the 8. We're going to put 150 bucks back there. We'll do 150. Right, we'll take half of our win from last time and go back here at 150. Actually, I can't. I can do 125 because it's a 5x table. So 125 is going to be fine. I can do five times. So that'll win 120 here and 30 there. So it's 150 for 125 on the odds if we can repeat that 8. Let's go. Let's get this 10. I want this 10 to pay off. I want it to pay off the hard way. 4-1-5. 5 has rolled a couple times. It wouldn't be bad to pick the 5 up if we can get something else to pay. Grab a 5. 5-1-6. Not on that either. But again, the 6 has not been classic here. There's the 7. So finally we get burned on it. And there's the end of the roll. But we did pretty good there, right? I don't know if we made any money. We needed that 10 to hit to actually make some money. And again, when the horseman flips sides like this, these two blacks just come back and get paid. The rest of it's a loser for us. We can do a quick count up. We're probably going to be even or close to even. Let's go get set back up again. There is, yeah, we're basically, there's our initial, that one's too many greens there. There's our initial bank. And here is 1, 2, yeah, there's 250 that we had back here. So basically we won that. We won 100. Let me just color it for us. There's 50. There's 75. So we won 125, almost 130 bucks. Not terrible, right? We got beat. We got beat back there on the 7. Earlier, we got beat on the don't pass twice for 100 bucks, or over 100 bucks twice, and we still showed $100 and some profit by following what's happening, right? Again, it's not like it's rocket science to follow what's happening. You just follow what's happening. You don't got to think too hard about it. 9 got hot, we reinvested, and we just pressed that 9 up, and we actually worked the 9 pretty hard there, right? The 4 got worked pretty hard, and we were on it the whole time. Come bet, paid with odds, and we hit it twice after that. That's beautiful. The 8 hit twice down here. That's beautiful. It was still trending good, right? We took our odds again, thinking that, hey, that's what the dice are saying they want to do. Well, eventually this guy's going to come out and get you. And you can look. That was about, I don't know how many rolls between 7s. That was quite a few rolls there between 7s. Did pretty good on that thing, right? We missed a few, right? The dice didn't declare they wanted the 6 or the 5 really until in the end. Had we hit a 10, we would have picked up the 5. With it. We probably would have gone from the 10 to the 5 and started working that one there. So that's it. Simple little bit of trend betting. I think the do we don't helps you not have the volatility on the come out, especially when the table goes a little bit south. You want to make sure that you're not getting hammered down there, because that'll totally happen to you. So there it is. That's simple look at trending and using the don't pass. It's a simple way to use the pass line and the don't pass line together, do we don't style, and just let the odds follow the puck, right? The table's going good, stay on taking odds. If the table's going bad, lay odds against the point. Just use that to do that. That's all you're doing. The come betting, again, finds the numbers that are being rolled, When they hit, you can stay on the same numbers, and now you have control over your pressing. So that's the way that I sort of approach that. And again, the horseman to me, it's not, you don't just go, don't pass, bet, and wait. That's boring. You don't play the horseman that way. You play the horseman like this, where you're moving your shit around, you're taking odds or not taking odds, you're replacing come bets with play. You're doing things with it to kind of move with the table. I think if you can use your brain and your gut a little bit, give yourself opportunity. You can't predict what's going to happen, but you want to have what I call opportunity. Get your chips out there in as big a stack as you can on the things that are most likely to happen. And what's most likely to happen is what's currently happening, because those clusters of things happen all the time. So that's it. Well, sweet. We did a good job today, right? We won a lot of money, but it was only like 45 rolls. You cannot judge anything in such a short period of time, right? 45 rolls is not anything to make a decision on. We did catch a couple of quote unquote trends or clusters, which we're supposed to do, right? Again, things happen in groups. Now, what we did notice is that we caught, I think we won 2 out of 3 pass lines and 2 out of 3 don't pass lines. If you're only playing one or the other, you would have won 3 and lost 3. We won 4 and lost 2. That's indicating that you can definitely, if you catch a couple 2, 3 in a row, you're going to be okay. The field play that we did, we won, but man, I wouldn't recommend you do that. The field is so volatile, and you'll find that the field is very quote unquote trendy. You'll get 4 or 5 in a row, 8, 9, 10 without a field. It just runs really hot and really cold. But if you happen to catch one like we did today, aggressively betting in a positive sequence is where it's at. I think aggressive betting in those good outcome clusters is how you make the most money. It's how you can quote, I don't want to say overcome, but kind of overcome the house edge. The house edge is still there. You're never going to get rid of it, but you feel it a lot less if you're increasing bets in those positive wins. So there it is. That was a fun session. Take some of those learnings with you and go practice it. Practice trying to catch a wave, jump into a positive cluster, and see if you can follow a little bit of what's going on out there and get some more action on the table when it's advantageous to you to try and do so. So with that said, have fun with that. Trends is a topic we're not going to solve in one show for sure. We're going to keep on rolling with it, but I want to give you food for thought, things to think about, and of course, things to try in your practice session. So there it is. I'm John. This is ProCraps. Please engage with me in the comments. Drop me an email, john@procraps.net. I'm always happy to talk to you. And of course, you can join our Discord as well at casinogaming.tv. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.